All right, welcome back. We are on level 5 of lesson 25, and this looks like a practice level. So we're going to practice these 4 activities. We're going to start with A and work our way through. So far, it's been pretty easy. So let me explain kind of the answer to the last level because I did tell you I wasn't going to tell you the answer. You can put a function anywhere in your code. However, there is a good spot that is sort of tradition and it's just best practices. So you really want to put all of the code that makes up the function at the bottom of your code. So at the very bottom, you have all of your functions and then all of your other code. So you put your variables at the top of the program, you put your functions at the bottom of the program, and then as you're working on your code, you can add in your shortcuts below your variables and above your functions. All right, so just that's the answer, and you'll see me kind of work on that as we go through this. So calling functions in the draw loop. You can call a function inside the draw loop just as you would anywhere else in your code. Do this. A function that will draw a background has been created for you. A sprite has also been created that will move across the background. Run the program to see what is happening with the scene so far. Add a function called to draw the background. Important note, don't create functions inside the draw loop. Make them at the bottom of your code. So there we go. They're saying the same thing that I'm saying. Your functions go at the bottom of your code. The shortcuts, this button right here, the shortcuts are what you can put anywhere in your code. So it says add a function to call the background. So we're going to add this in right here. And it says trees backgrounds. Right? So we don't have to worry about all of that. We just have to worry about a shortcut. We can't put this in our draw loop, but we can put the shortcut. So we're going to press run. And there we go. So the trees are in the background. So with that, we're going to press finish. We're going to keep going. We're going to go to B. All right, so calling functions multiple times. You'll often want to use the same code at many places in your program. Once you've created a function, you can call it as many times as you like. Do this. This code creates a sprite that moves across the screen once. How can you make it go back across the screen? Call the setFlyer function to make the sprite go back across the screen. Note, the setFlyer function is already called once at the beginning of your program to make the sprite move across the screen once. Find the if statement inside the draw loop. Read the condition of this if statement to understand what it is checking. Drag out a my function call inside this if statement to make the sprite move across the screen multiple times. All right, so we have our sprite creations and we have our functions. And then we have our draw loop right here. So if.flyer.x is less than -50. So if it's over here on the side of the screen, then we want to call the setFlyer again because that's going to bring it back over here to 450. So we're going to say setFlyer. All right, so let's run it. And I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. So we're going to say -5. There we go. There we go. So you can see it's being called multiple times across the program. So with that, we're going to finish here. Let's go to the next activity. So C, making changes to functions. So making changes to functions, kind of like what I just did. A nice benefit of using functions to remove repeated code is that you can now easily make changes to multiple places in your code. Just change how you create the functions and your program will now use the new code everywhere your function is called. So do this. Make changes to the setFlyer function to make the sprite's location and speed random. All right, so, okay, we can do that. Right here, it says 450. I think I want to leave the X where it is, but the Y, we can change that. So instead of 200 every time, we're going to say random number between 50 and 350. And then velocity, we're going to change to random number between 1 and, I don't know, let's say 7. So let's run it. Ew, what did I do? Y, so Y, okay. All right. Maybe 7 is too fast. Oh, because it's negative. So -1, -5. All right. There we go. Let's see if it changes. Yep, so it changes speed. It changes location on the y-axis. One more round. Yep, so we got that. That's good. So we're going to click Finish here and move on to the last activity on the practice level. All right, so creating functions to organize code. In GameLab, all the action is happening in the draw loop, but too much complex code makes it really confusing to read. To keep your draw loop easy to read, use functions for larger chunks of code. You can call them inside the draw loop and define them below. This is a really good example of using abstraction to think about problems at a high level and worry about details later. So do this. This program should draw a daytime scene or a nighttime scene depending on the location of the mouse. The draw loop describes what needs to happen, but one of the functions hasn't been written yet. Write the draw night function, which has been created but is empty. Hint, look at the pictures to the right for how your night image should look. Can you use the draw a day function to help you at all? So this is what it should look like. And I'm going to open this up so we can get a better look. All right, so we have our dots, we have our moon, we have our sky, we have our, I'm guessing, water, land. All right, so our draw day, ooh, okay, so our draw day is here. So, okay. All right. I think we're probably going to be able to just copy this code. And then the sun will be the moon. So instead of these colors, I'm going to say, instead of those colors, I'm going to say gray. Oops. And then the water is going to be like a really dark navy blue. So red, green, blue. Okay. All right. Let's try 200. Let's see what that does. No, I really need some like darkness to it. So let's say this is going to be, I don't know if they actually have this color, but let's say dark blue. That definitely turned white. Okay. Up. All right. So we're going to do this. We're going to go to Google and we're going to say RGB dark blue. Ooh, I like this one. So what is the RGB for this? 00139. Let's try that. Okay. So RGB 00139. Let's try that. It's kind of the same color. I want it darker than that. All right, so let's try, I don't know. Okay, that's better. So we need to go down. Okay, so let's try, I'm gonna try 50. Yeah, that's much better. All right, so now we need the sky. And I think, honestly, I think I want the sky to be that color. Yeah, there we go. So I think we've done that. Everything else looks about right. Yeah. So, all right, so we've done our day, we've done our night, it all works. All right, I'm happy with that. So we're gonna click finish, continue, and I think, yep, yep, okay, so we've done all 4 activities. I will see you on level 6. Good job, guys.